Yo, what up, y'all? So I guess the idea is that for Rod, he really wants to show up with 1 second to spare. Like that's his goal. So today I think he did it with 6 seconds to like he won't like in the beginning, Rod would show up, we'd be like 5 minutes before, we'd be talking about stuff, and then I could actually start the podcast with us talking. Now the dude shows up like, and by the time I press the button, we're already 6 seconds into the podcast. So I don't know. But guess what? At least he's showing up. You know what I'm saying? At least he's actually here for the Collective Podcast. So listen, this is episode 84 of the Collective Podcast. I am AC from LA. He is Rodney Saucier Sr.
What up?
AKA Saucier Sr. This is January 6, 2022. We are 360. Last year was leap year. Did you know that? Or was it 2020? I don't know. 365 or 366 days from that damn mess, that insurrection. We're going to get into either a little bit of that or a lot of that. We'll see how it goes. But, yo, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a podcast to step to. Think of how many week pods you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you. What up? I'm going to play Haven't Lost My Touch by a Lone Star featuring Jethro Sheeran and Royce the 5'9". But I'm going to play Royce the 5'9". I'm going to play his verse.
As you should.
Right.
Feel like Midas. I'm over here talking to some real fly in the bun who just told me she still like lighters. So hopefully she feel like dying real young like the nightest. I'm stricken with a sickness called ball every night itis. I'm buying hookah, who need a light? I don't even drink, but I'm buying bottles too. I'm exercising my legal right. In here with the kid killer in disguise. I'm usually in my own city with the gorillas from the mob. Right now I'm in his town chilling, just feeling the vibe. All the beautiful ladies falling through. I'm talking dimes. We all know that we all against the odds, but we ain't stalling, fool. We realize the life we live is gonna catch up to us, and it's all in due time. I still
haven't lost my touch. Haven't lost my touch. Yo, what up, Royce? What up, Rod?
Man, slow motion.
All right, I want to start off with a moment.
Outside.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. You were still answering.
Oh, it's a good-looking day outside.
Word.
Considering we've had a bunch of rain for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. So facts. We are into the new year. What up, Dietrich? Thanks for joining. Our guy Dietrich, first one on. We appreciate that. Hey, rest in peace. Rest in peace to the matriarch of the Johnson family. Marcus Johnson's mother, Kriston Johnson's grandmother, is gone. When MJ was considering becoming my client at Morgan Stanley, his mom came and interviewed me too. And I knew Marcus. Obviously, I knew Kriston, but I didn't know moms. And it was great to meet her. And, you know, I had a chance to take them to eat and had a couple meals with her and had some really great interactions. And to be the matriarch of such a phenomenal family, such a phenomenal bloodline was something to behold. So I want to start off with a moment of silence for Marcus's mom, Kriston's grandmother, who is no longer with us. Rest in peace, Mrs. Johnson. All right, man. Episode 84. It could be a lot to get to. Doesn't have to be a lot to get to. I know Rod is really ready to kick off the stuff about the insurrection. So let's get the less important stuff out of the way first. Rod's Raiders are still alive. Speak on it, Rod. Talk to us. Talk to us about your Raiders. Man. Talk to us about
in my Raider room. You see the gray in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Got the gray shirt on. The gray.
So tell us about the task in front of you. What happens now? What's going on?
Last stop. We got to see those San Diego Chargers. Yes, I refuse to call them Los Angeles. They're San Diego for me.
Well, I don't know why you keep doing that because ain't nobody calling y'all the Oakland Raiders. But hey, listen, I'm not I'm not a Chargers guy per se, but they are Los Angeles' team. So, like, I'm taking it a step further. They're the only team in Los Angeles. So, I know that that's not what you want to hear, but who cares about the St. Louis Rams? St. Louis Rams, Oakland Raiders, San Diego Chargers. Dude, we got to be real. They are where they are. 2 teams in LA, 1 team in Vegas. What do you guys need to do? Yes, Dietrich. Yes, they are, but we're not getting to our game yet. We're not getting to the 49ers at the St. Louis Rams in Los Angeles yet. We're talking about Rod's Raiders. So, Rod, talk to us. What do you need to do this week?
We need some offensive and defensive line play. If the offensive line shows up and play like they've been playing the last couple of weeks, and we can get some kind of running game going, we're good. I have nothing to worry about.
What's your guy's name on the offensive line that always jumps in the red zone?
Well, which one?
Are there multiple?
That would be Brandon Parker. That would be the first round rookie, and that would be the center who constantly gets
snap infractions.
So
I think I saw the rookie jump on Sunday, and I thought about you. I couldn't find you. You were in church. I was like, dude, he just jumped in the red zone, and Rod said he would, and I think it was the rookie.
Yeah, it's something about that red zone or third and short. Less than 3rd and 4, and he just can't help himself. It's almost like the devil possesses him and makes him flinch or move his leg or something like that.
The devil? Well, it was a bonus because it was 3rd and 2 in the red zone, so it was all of the above in the red zone and 3rd and
short. Field goal out of it.
Yeah, you got a field goal.
Yeah, we are field goal kings.
All right. So Dietrich mentioned the most important game of the week. So good luck, Rod. Good luck to your squad. So tell us the scenario. So if you win, you're in, but you don't necessarily have to win. So give us the rest of it.
If we win, we're in. If we tie, the Raiders and the Chargers are in. And if we lose, we're done. Indianapolis will go in and the Chargers will go in.
Oh, so you're now done with the loss. I thought you could go in with help.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Pittsburgh has another game. So if Pittsburgh loses, Indianapolis loses, we're in. And the Chargers are in.
Okay, so
when
Pittsburgh
with won, they're still technically alive.
Yeah. Okay. So with a loss, you can still get in with Pittsburgh and Indianapolis losses.
Right.
And you were saying that the Pittsburgh loss was reasonable, but you weren't sure about Indianapolis. Now, it's interesting. The state of Ohio has a couple teams, and neither team has their starting quarterback this week. But it's funny. The one quarterback is out because he's having surgery, and the other quarterback is out so that he can rest because they already won the division. That is hilarious. Or maybe they didn't win the division, but they have the playoff slot locked. So he's resting. That's hilarious. Those two people are Baker Mayfield and Joe Burrow. And we don't really care about Joe Burrow one way or another, but Joe Burrow is the truth. We don't like Baker Mayfield. So go ahead and sit. Go have your surgery.
They're actually better without Baker Mayfield. Case Keenum will play much better than Baker Mayfield.
Dietrich is saying, let's go Falcons just in case. I don't like depending on people, but they're just as much Dietrich's team as they are my team. So if Dietrich wants to say, let's go Falcons, then I got to support my guy. So let's go Falcons. See, I wasn't even paying attention to the other scenario, the scenario in which we would lose. So I don't even know who the damn Falcons are playing. Who are they playing? Philly? No, because Philly's in division. Philly is playing Dallas. So who are the Falcons playing? Who else is chasing us? Washington's out. Hold on, let me. Oh, New Orleans. Oh, it must be Falcons against New Orleans because New Orleans was chasing us and they won. So I guess there are 3 of us alive for 2 slots in the NFC. We're in the driver's seat. We're the 6th seed. Yeah, New Orleans at the Falcons. Yeah, I expect the Falcons to win that game anyway, Dietrich. But yeah, we can throw a go in there. 9-8, 9-7, and then Philly. What's Philly's record? Is Philly 8-8? I can't even find them on this thing. Is Philly 8-8, right?
I think so.
Oh no, shit! They're tied with us. They're 9-7. Okay, so now I get it. They're 9-7, but we have the tiebreaker, and then New Orleans. I guess we don't have the tiebreaker, and that's why we care about them. Wow. So we clearly don't have the tiebreaker with the Saints. But I don't know who has the 3-way tiebreaker if all 3 of us were tied with Philly and the Saints and the 49ers. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You inviting Nina? Why you want to talk about the Cardinals?
Well, she posted something earlier about a situation we're probably going to get into at some point. So I just figured she should tune in and offer her opinion.
Was it okay?
AB related.
Which Nina was? What related?
AB related.
Which Nina was it? Scratching your head, Nina, or profound Nina?
It's always scratching my head.
Okay. Shout out to Nina Grubbs. Come through as I scratch my head. Hey, man, do you know what you were doing 32 and a half years ago?
32 and a half years ago.
Yeah, that would have been June. That would have been June 89.
I was either driving back to California from DC, or I was here.
Okay.
Coming home for summer break.
Okay.
College.
Got you. He said the Eagles are in already. Are you sure? Because we have the tiebreaker with them.
Right now they're in.
Yeah, but he's saying in already. Yeah, no, Dietrich. We're saying no matter what. Wait. Oh, they are in. Okay, so that's weird. I don't know how. So they could finish 9-8. So that means that they have the tiebreaker with New Orleans. Okay, so that answers my question. They have the tiebreaker with New Orleans, and they're at least second best in the 3-way tiebreaker with New Orleans and the 49ers. And that tells me, okay, all right, good to know. The math doesn't really add up, but okay, I can figure it out. So the Eagles are 9-7. With the loss, they would be 9-8, but they would automatically be the 7 seed. The 49ers are 9-7. With a win, they would be 10-7 and still be in the number 6 seed. But if they lost and New Orleans won and the Eagles lost, then there's a 3-way tie. If the Eagles win and the 49ers and Saints lose, the Eagles would move up to 6 and the Saints would move up to 7 and the 49ers would be out. So bleak days ahead if the 49ers lose. So we just need to put put our feet on the necks of the Rams like we did the last 5 times. All right, so that's that. What else? We have a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is
last 5 times. That's
my house. That what?
Shots fired.
Well, here's the thing.
At all you Rams fans. Right. He said it the last 5 times.
I believe in God, but I also believe in the 49ers. Woo! Yeah, last 5 times. Hey, I didn't fire the shot. Dietrich didn't fire the shot. 49ers fired the shots. So, whatever. Rams are in though. They're actually are they division champs no matter what? I don't remember. Yes, they're division. Nope, they're not division champs yet. So it depends. It depends on what happens with the Cardinals and the Seahawks. The Cardinals can still win the division if they beat the Seahawks and we handle business. So we'll see what happens. But right now, you're looking at Packers with a bye. You're looking at Rams versus Eagles. You're looking at Buccaneers, 49ers, and Cowboys, Cardinals. Very interesting. So many things can change. We can be 6. I guess there's a scenario in which we could also drop to 7. But we're either 6 or 7 no matter what. And the Cardinals could either be 4 or 5. And the Rams could either be 2, 3, 4, or 5. I guess there's a scenario in which the Rams could also be 1. So this is wild. The Rams could be anywhere from 1 to 5. Very interesting. All right, so that's that. Aaron Donald. It doesn't matter what Aaron Donald is still learning. Aaron Donald is the best in the business, and he just happens to play for the enemy. So, but still learning who. Our Debo, yes, still 19. Yes, my bad. I thought you were talking about Tiny Lister. Rest in peace. Okay, yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Yeah. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. We're good. We got Elijah in the backfield. We got Debo doing everything. We got Brandon Ayuk out there. And you know what? Ambry Thomas was actually good last week. So Rod can have the crown back of the most inept DBs in the league, although we're still teetering. Our cornerbacks are still teetering on the brink of.
We may have to give that to the Cowboys then, because Jonathan Abrams is on IR. He's no longer in our secondary, and Faison didn't start last week.
So they improved.
So they drastically improved.
Damn, drastically. We have
2 of the worst.
Sign somebody out of Whole Foods and drastically improve. That's crazy. But Ambry Thomas almost got a pick last week and he didn't get burnt, although the guy on the other side was kind of a little toasty. But the defense was handling business. All right. Warriors still look like world beaters. Rodney's cousin finally debuted. Anti-vaccination and all. Kyrie Irving played last night and scored 22 points in a win over the Pacers. Yeah.
Yep, Dietrich Nate Hobbs is going to play.
What's up, Crystal Ship? Shout out to Crystal. Crystal is my long time friend. All right. So, I don't have a lot more about football. There's a lot going on in the AFC. Like, that shit is still wide open. The Steelers can still make the playoffs. And they are, 8-7-1? If I remember correctly. Yeah, 8-7-1. They're just behind the Raiders. And they are ahead of The Ravens. It's wild. The Ravens are 11 but still alive, and the Browns are 10 and eliminated. But you love to see that. No, it's the Broncos that are 10 and eliminated. So it is what it is. Moving on. All right.
So Dietrich was asking about Nate Hobbs because he got arrested for a DUI last week after the Raiders football game. And apparently he was at a hotel. He was drinking at the hotel. And he came down to the parking lot, got in the car, and went to sleep. Police woke him up, took him in for DUI.
Oh, that doesn't seem fair.
No. And I forgot the scenario of when they can actually charge you with DUI for being asleep in the car. I think if you have the keys in the ignition, I think then they can charge you with DUI, which I've been sleepy before in my car with the keys in the ignition because I like the radio on. Not that I wanted to drive while I was sleepy, but or shoot, you put the key in to roll, crack your window or whatever the case. But I've always thought, just my personal opinion, that was being kind of responsible for him not to actually get behind the wheel and try to drive. He was actually trying to sleep it off. And I would rather see someone do that than go out and then we have another rug situation or, Dante Stallworth. So I don't know. I hope they show some kind of compassion. What up, Cobbs?
No, he's gonna beat that. He's gonna beat that. What up, Cobbs? There you go, Dietrich. Rob, what can't you get enough of?
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a different situation. Because I've heard of people sleeping in the back seat and still being arrested.
I think the other. Well, was he parked on the street or was he parked? Where was he parked?
That I don't know.
So that matters. Well, which state? They weren't in Nevada, right?
No, they played in Indianapolis. So I'm not sure exactly where he was when it happened.
Yeah, going fast, not slow. Yes, Rodney O, leader of the show. Make the lady say, Rod, are you king of your castle causing much pain? Are you taming dumb shrimp wimps?
Man, that was primitive. It was primitive. It was primitive when it came out, and it's still primitive.
Man. Mayonnaise. All right. We about to get serious in a minute. So we did with the AC on. Let me see. We got to get into it, right? It's January 6th. So, I mean, anything else on sports before we get into it?
No AB.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
Well, now it's going back and forth. AB is saying that they were trying to put him in the game hurt. The coach is saying that AB didn't want to go in the game because he wasn't getting enough targets and he got upset. And everyone else on the outside looking in is saying AB has mental health issues and someone should be getting him some help. I think AB likes attention. I'm willing to side with the coach on this one. Based on AB's history of when he feels like he's not getting the ball. We saw this same thing in Pittsburgh. When he was going back and forth in the media with Ben Roethlisberger and doing weird stuff, attracting attention to himself. I don't think this one has anything to do with mental issues. The dude just is full of himself. And people are going to disagree. I don't think, based on the way he exited that stadium, that he was that injured that he couldn't play. Even if he was a decoy. We've seen people be a decoy with much more severe injuries than whatever he was claiming he had. That dude hurled his shoulder pads and helmet about 15 yards against the team bench. He threw his gloves and his jersey as far as it could go into the stadium stands, and he trotted pain-free out of the stadium, like throwing his arms in the air. So that tells me he doesn't have a hand injury. He doesn't have a shoulder injury. His back is fine. His knees are fine. His ankles are fine. Everything you really need to play his position is fine. And with that big Kool-Aid smile on his face, his head was fine. He wasn't concussed.
Damn, he's taking shots at his head.
I'm willing to go with the coach on this one and say that he was bothered because Tom didn't look his way enough, and it might have been the matchup, it might have been the coverage that they had out there, where they know that Tom is looking at AB in certain situations. The coaches do their homework. Certain defense coordinators. Bill Belichick is not the only person who says we want to take your best threat away. All teams try to do that. At some better than others, but for whatever reason, unless it was a better matchup, because they do have some tight receivers for the Bucs, he wasn't the go-to matchup, and it is what it is.
All righty. Well, Rod, thank you for that, and thank you for keeping it under 7 minutes. That's a first. We have AC Sports. We have Anthony Cobbs, AC Sports Live, joining us.
Yes,
and
sir.
I think he wants to get in on a little of this Antonio Brown news. So, AC, talk about AB.
Who better to do it than a former receiver?
Hey, I'm coming from a place I was once told to play hurt. I was told if you in the tub, you can't make the club. So I understand what he's saying. I was forced to play. I'm trying my best to rock with AB on this situation. I just can't. You know that guy you always played with when you were young? He played too much. He always do the most. And you try to tell him to chill. Come on, man.
Yeah.
AB's that dude. Now, I don't know his demons, the severity of his demons, but I do know his dad played with us in arena football. It ain't like he didn't have no home training. This is a very privileged, spoiled dude. Mm-hmm. And when his teammates say he's always been a fool, he's always acted a fool. He's missed practices. He talks crazy to coaches. He does whatever you wouldn't do. He's the opposite of Larry Fitzgerald. And that's been his whole career. Mm-hmm. Mike Tomlin should get an award for handling that dude for 9 years and keeping it all under wraps. Mike Tomlin needs a lifetime achievement award for doing this. But when he left Pittsburgh, it all hit the fan. And we saw how wild this cat was. But when you have extreme talent like AB, you accept the talent over the craziness. All right, fast forward to what happened last week. All right, if you hurt, you hurt. But if you take a cortisone shot, you're a grown man, you agree to it. They can't make you take a cortisone shot. Right. They can't make you play if you can't play. What he did wrong is he played. When I got my injury grievance with the New Orleans Saints, I lost all leverage when I practiced. When they had me on film practicing, yes, I was hurt. But Mike Ditka said you can't make the club in the tub. If you can play, play. It's not a threat that you're going to get cut. It's just saying if you can go, go. And you being a young guy, you want to play. I saw the text messages AB sent to Arians. Arians knew he was banged up, but everybody's banged up. If you really can't go, you don't go. And this fool going to jump off the bench and run in the end zone skipping. his argument that he was being forced to play is going to be out the window because there's video evidence the first half he was running fine. He left the game fine. If you really want to milk the ankle injury, you limp off the field. And you do it quietly. The way he went out, he messed up his whole argument. So at this point, he going to have an injury grievance trying to get his money. Had he just hung tight, Tom Brady was going to get him his money this week and next week. He would have got them 8 catches. He would have got them yards. So this is just a cat who was not getting the pill, like Rodney said, the first half. And he thinks they're trying to hold him out from getting his money. Last year, Tom Brady got him his money. He's going to get his bread. But the way he acted, he just lost $1 million. And the way he's acted has probably ruined his chances of getting a substantial contract. Somebody said his contract was bogus. When you act a fool for 10 years, you get minimum contracts. Remember Dwight Howard's contract when he came to LA? You act a fool, you get minimum contracts on incentives. And that's where he's at. I don't feel sorry for AB. I hope he gets mental help. I don't know the demons he's dealing with. I know he got them, though, because you don't act like that knowing your career is on the line. So I hope he gets the help he needs. I doubt he gets it. He's the kind of cat that don't want no help. He don't want to hear nobody telling the truth. He got a bunch of dude boys by him, telling him yes, because he's a fake rapper. So you know them kind of circles, some cats be just trying to stay on. Yeah. I hope AB keep me around. So at this point, man, he needs somebody that he truly respects to get in his ear and pull his coattail to tell him, look here, man, lay low. Your PR is doing you greasy, talking about it as an ankle injury. As soon as you played, you lost all leverage. So I hope he gets what he needs and quiet is kept. If he got cut today, like they say he got cut, somebody might pick him up because he's that good of a receiver. He can help somebody right now. But the baggage is deep, man. It's crazy. I hope he gets the help he needs, man, but I doubt he's going to take it. That's my 2 cents.
Man, that might have been $20. I don't know if that was 2 cents, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Both of y'all, good stuff. Yeah, so it's interesting. Cobb's validated what Rod said on the day of and continued to say. How is he going to say anything about an injury when he? What did you say, Rod? He looked like Edwin Moses. He said he looked. Rod said he looked better than Edwin Moses back in what, 84? Yeah.
He looked quick, man.
He was trotting off.
He skipped out of there like a politician. Like, hey.
I mean, full ankle extension on his skip.
Yes. Toes up, as Don used to tell us. Get your toes up.
Toe heel up. Toe heel up. Don Norfolk.
Oh man. My I don't think I ever told you guys this, but I was on a very small track team at St. Monica for the 2 years that I was there. And I don't remember our head coach's name, but our assistant coach was more memorable just because he was in the league. His name was Dwight T. Drain, and he was on all 4 of them Bills teams.
Wait. You can't go past that one that fast. Say that name again.
Dwight Drain. You know Dwight Drain?
Dwight T. Drain. That's
yeah. Wait,
the name itself sounds like some kind of product.
Oh, you just clowned his name. Okay. Yeah, he was he was a DB for the Bills, a reserve. Anyway, I've never forgotten him. I just want to throw that out there. Ross said, "You're not just gonna skip past that."
Sound like it.
That man, I like that man's name. Here he is.
Look here, baby.
Shout out, Coach.
Look here, baby. My baby's drained.
Shout out, Coach.
White drain. I've been knocking them down. They call me the plumber.
The white tea drain.
I don't know why I remember the middle initial.
T in it. That
white tea drain. The T stands for total satisfaction.
You guys are too much. I don't know why I remember the middle initial, but I've just never forgotten that. I want to say also he was number 42, so he's probably a safety. But anyway,
yeah, he's 42.
That is hilarious.
Okay.
I break the color barriers. 42.
All right. So Rod, one of Rod's favorite topics that never gets talked about is the lockout or the work stoppage in baseball. No change, Rod. No updates. All right, moving on. And no news is not good news. With Gary,
I forgot there was a lockout going still. I'm telling you, it gets no coverage.
Yeah,
we gotta see if Dwight Drain is still making movies.
Oh boy.
Let me get back to work, y'all. I got
it. All right, man.
Peace out. I'll let y'all.
Thanks for coming through. Be safe.
Peace
and love.
Dwight T. Drain.
Too much.
Ladies, get your singles out. Ladies, get your singles out. Come to the stage. Dwight T. Drain.
Man. He needs to be on a commercial for like
T stands for tenacious. Tenacity. Tumultuous.
You listen, man. You
tremendous.
Okay, not 42. He was 40. He was 45.
The T stands for 10 inches, baby.
Oh,
coming through. Y'all be
oh
easy,
my goodness. Yep, he was a safety at OU.
Oh man, the White T Train gave us some comedy relief today.
Man, yeah,
they need to market him. That name can take him places.
Well, I mean, he's not getting started. He's 60 years old.
Yeah, but that name can take him places that the NFL never could.
Man, shout out to Dwight Drain, my former track coach. All right. All right, Rod, get into it. It's January 6th.
Hey, man, 1 year anniversary of what I call the mob riots of the Capitol. 1 year 1 year ago today, thousands of people marched to the Capitol and tried to block the certification of the presidential vote. And it was ugly. It cast a bad light on our country. And it was deadly. People died. And I posted on my Facebook page, if those of you are out there Facebook friends with me, I posted the definition of an insurrection on what's listed as far as the government, the Constitution, the penalty, and what it is.
U.S. Code 2383.
Yeah. And I think that what happened falls more under sedition than treason. But I think that depending on who you talk about, both occurred. And I'll say that because the regular citizens who marched on the Capitol and tried to stop it committed sedition. But those who were already holding offices in the Capitol who helped those people committed treason.
Right.
And I just say that based on the legal definition of what we get if we go under the codes for the U.S. government.
You want me to read it, or you want to?
I can do it. So, right. U.S. Code 2383, rebellion or insurrection. Whoever incites, sets on foot, assists, or engages in any rebellion or insurrection against the authority of the United States or the laws thereof, or gives aid or comfort thereto shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both, and shall be incapable of holding any office under the United States. So that's where it gets tricky because some of the people involved were holding a position or office in the United States. And that's why I say those individuals committed treason. And the penalty for treason is completely different than the penalty for sedition or breaking the code for rebellion or insurrection.
Well, and when you start off with whoever incites, if you look at the guy who was holding the highest office in the land at the time,
Committed treason.
and he incited, like it's right there. Which, like you said, is not simply sedition, but it is actual treason. And yeah, just absolutely disgusting. But so here we are. This is what Rodney didn't post this link, but he posted this excerpt, and I'm sure that he got it from Cornell Law, just like we're sharing Cornell Law right now. But yeah, it's U.S. Code 2383, rebellion or insurrection, and he just read it to you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share. Pun intended. All right. So, oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Well, that part, Dietrich. Yeah, they definitely lost their damn minds for sure. And a year later, people are still denying like that it even happened. And talk a little about this, Rod. You were talking earlier about how people are trying to misplace the blame. They're trying to shuffle the blame and say that. Well, I'll let you say what you said earlier. Go ahead.
Well, we talked last night about this.
Oh, it was last night. Okay.
Well, we talked before last night, but we talked again about it last night. And it's amazing how when the young lady lost her life trying to jump through the window of the door to get to the chambers, and she was shot by someone on the other side of the door. The people who were trying to help her get through the door then begin yelling, "This is your fault. You guys did this to her." And they were yelling. And if you watch the documentary 4 Hours to the Capitol, this is all video footage of, people had camera phones and stuff right there. She's only maybe 4 to 5 feet away from the person who is holding the camera, getting the footage. Excuse me. And someone, the guy that's leading the charge, is yelling, "Hey, wait a minute, back up. Someone's got a gun." And she refuses to back up. She's amped. Comes to find out that she's a 14-year U.S. Air Force vet. She was a military veteran, and she tried to break through the glass and jump through the window of the door to get in the chambers, and she was shot, I think, in the neck. And as the crowd was surrounding her and tried to give her attention, they were yelling at the officer saying, "Hey, you guys are not trying to give her medical assistance." And the officers are saying, "Hey, we can't get anybody through here because you guys are blocking the hallway. You have to get out.
You're also trying to kill us."
Right. And so it became the blame game when they weren't supposed to be there. So it's crazy that when it was who they kind of shine the light on after the George Floyd murder, of minorities saying that these are rioters and looters, and they had 45 in office saying, "Yeah, we got to do something about this, and you gotta excuse me, be tougher on Portland and be tougher on Minnesota and be tougher on all these areas where there's a high concentration of people protesting, with more people of color. It's amazing that they didn't want to call this something equal to that. And I said it last year on the show. This is when George Floyd's murder came out, this was not a first of its kind. And I likened it to Shay's Rebellion. And this was the same of, hey, but Shay's Rebellion, they were feeling like, the government was taking their land. This was not the case. This was, we don't agree with the government decision, so we're going to tear that place up and not let that decision be made. You can't do that. Can't do that. And people lost their lives. And then at 4.5 hours later, 45 is saying, okay, you've made your point. You guys can go home yet. You guys can go home now. And all of those thousands of people are standing out there like, wait a minute. You tell us to come down here and tear this place up, and now you're telling us to go home? Like, he never showed his face. He never popped up anywhere. And AC and I were talking. It was almost like he was some kind of cult figure. I mean, like the stranglehold he had on these people's minds to make them feel like they've been wrong so badly that they needed to go down here and potentially kill certain people, that were working for the government. I don't understand what it would have been like if they had actually found Nancy Pelosi or found Schumer or some of these other people who were working. They probably would have killed them, dragged their bodies through the street, and it in an awful way, because they actually killed a police officer and tried to drag him, but he was pulled back. So I would assume that the hatred they've had for Pelosi and some of these other people, it would have been that much worse.
And then to Dietrich's point, they wanted to hang their own. They wanted to hang Mike Pence.
Yes. Yes.
Pence had enough of the tomfoolery and wanted to do the right thing, and they were like, no, traitor. And it's so funny how they throw, and it's not funny, but it's so funny how they throw around traitor. And it's like, no, you guys are the traitors. You're the traitors to the country. Mike Pence is not the traitor. Now, Mike Pence has got a lot of faults, but he wasn't the traitor in that instance when he's trying to actually validate. Absolutely ridiculous. And one other thing and I'm going to let Rodney run with this, but one other thing that Rodney and I were talking about is the idea that they talk about people being traitors, and they talk about, for instance, Colin Kaepernick. Oh, you bastard, you're taking a knee, da-da-da-da-da, you're disrespecting the flag. But these moronic motherfuckers will walk around, they will go into the Capitol building with a fucking Confederate flag.
Right.
Hi, the Confederates lost. That's not our flag. You're the traitor waving this flag. So you say a Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. flag, but you're really aligned with and allied with the Confederate flag, the side that lost, the side that actually seceded from the Union. Like, that's not even our country. That's a different country. It's a country that doesn't exist. But you want to say something about people not being able to have freedom of speech. You're desecrating our flag while also pledging allegiance to it. How in the fuck does that make sense? You're walking past the U.S. flag with a Confederate flag wrapped around your body going into the building.
Yeah.
But you're a patriot. You throw around patriotism. But you throw that around like you throw around purity, huh? That's a whole nother topic. Go ahead, Rod.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me do this real quick. You did say blame game, and you know how I got to do.
Let's play the blame game.
That's it. That's such a phenomenal song. Kanye featuring John Legend. Blame game. It's a relationship song, but I wanted to just play that part about the blame game. All right, Rod, go ahead.
I mean the irony of it all, man. You know, first it was back to blue, and support the police, and then it was you guys are traitors. You work for us. This is our building. This is taxpayer money, and you need to let us in or face the consequences. So I watch the BNC network, which is on 342 on DirecTV. It's a mostly black news channel, kind of geared to our perspective on what's current, and they're having an all-day special on a year ago today, and what happened, and some of the congressmen who were there. I actually have a good friend of mine, Sharice May, who works for the Capitol. She is the photographer for the Capitol. She was there that day. She was hidden into a room. She sent us a message saying that she was okay, which I'm thankful to God for. Sharice is one of the sweetest people on earth, who would never do any harm to anyone. Um, Her work is prominently featured in different galleries all over the country. She's photographed the Obamas. She's photographed everyone that you can actually think of, and all kinds of events. And she was trapped in there. She couldn't go home. Um, and it's just amazing how you know these Congress people were saying how they felt that day being hidden in small rooms, or some of them were actually in the balcony of the Congress chambers, hiding behind the chairs. But and the I don't remember, and I don't even want to give him any kind of uh shout outs, but the idiot that had on the Viking hat during this insurrection, I guess he's kind of like the leader of the Proud Boys, or whatever that other group is. He actually went to the Senate chambers and sat in the chair um, where the speaker sits. And had he looked up into the balcony and someone may move their head or something like that, and he saw something move, he could have easily pointed out all those congressmen who were still there inside the chambers, stuck there. And this could have been really bad. I mean, worse, much worse than it was. And thank God he and a couple other people who got in that room didn't see them up there. So miracles still happen, and God is still protecting people, because that was a miracle that they didn't get discovered, or people didn't see them up there. Because it was quite a few of them in there still. Um, but these people have families.
Because it
One
was
one
quite a few of
congressman
them.
said that he had a 3-month-old son at home with another baby on the way that was due to be born, a couple of months later. And he's like, I just all I could think of was that I wouldn't get to meet my second child. Like, they were gonna kill us. And if you look at the 4 hours to the Capitol documentary, and like I said again, it's really good. You can see the hate and the anger in these people, and that's the part that is scary, because that hate and that anger that they showed going to the Capitol and tearing up that building has not left them. They are still angry, and they are still ready to do harm to people. And they have children and grandchildren who they are raising to think the same way. And this is not the first time that we've ever felt like an election was stolen. I mean, Democrats felt the same way when Al Gore didn't get the presidency in 2000. It's no different. But no one ran down to the Capitol and tried to stop it and say, hey, this election was stolen. We need to tear up the place.
Let me just throw something in there. It is. I'm going to argue that it is very different. That was actually logical that was stolen. This was illogical. This was a fantasy. Right. That was not a fantasy.
The thought behind it
I got you.
Of saying that it's not different, that it actually has been thought to been stolen before. Like, this is not a first time thing where someone felt like the presidency was stolen. It's happened over time in history, more than once. But there's a way to go about it. The people who fought for Gore, they went to court. The court said, hey, the hanging clads or whatever, this, that, throw those votes out. And it is what it is. People took Bush and just accepted what he had to do.
Yeah. The infamous hanging chads. Shout out to Jimmy Mack. What's up, brother? And Dietrich is shouting out the Capitol policeman, the brother that led them the wrong way. Yeah, indeed. He was honored at that ceremony. Wow, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Like, what this country went through just on the night of the election through the 6th and beyond. It was just absolutely disgusting. And y'all elected this dude. Nah, I mean, we elected him. That's the thing. I mean, I didn't vote for him, but we were part of the election, right? We accepted the results. And so we as a country elected that stone cold fool. And he got worse with time. And then I think that he was, as Janae Aiko would say, the worst anyone could have thought. Worse than anyone could have thought. The absolute worst. As he was on his way out of office. Just ridiculous.
And the scariest thing is he'll probably run again in 2024 and probably could win.
Well, unless, U.S. Code 1323 is in place and they convict him of inciting this thing, then he wouldn't be eligible for office.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, that's not like
going, because they've been trying to chase after his tax records for what, about
get him like they got now? Get him like they got Capone. Just let the IRS do it.
Yeah.
The takedown. Yeah, you're the most notorious mobster of all time, but we're gonna get you with tax evasion. Yeah, Jimmy Mack says it was just backlash for 8 years of Obama. Yeah, absolutely. It
was.
And that's the thing. Like, Jimmy Mack, you never lie. I mean, maybe when you talk about officials sometimes. Just kidding. I know you're not lying. It's how you truly feel. But I was terrified. I wasn't not a dad yet. But I was terrified as soon as that. No, I was a dad. I was a very new dad. And when he took office, I was terrified. All the things that were happening on the day that he was sworn in, all of these people were so newly empowered to just show their asses to the world. I was like, man, this is nuts. And I'm talking about when your boy took office in I'm sorry, when he actually took office, when he was sworn in, I was and it got worse, man. The people felt like, oh, we have a platform. Like we have one of us. We got one of us as the president. The fuck. Anyway, it's always good to make Mr. McElroy laugh. All right, Rod.
But what's scarier is that minorities were going along. It wasn't just all white. I mean, we had minorities going along with it and willing to overlook his stance and his speech as long as they were getting tax breaks, you know.
Yeah.
And I like to look at this the same way it probably was throughout history of people of color in ancient Africa. I mean, like, I'm sure that there were plenty of Africans that got away from slave traders, you know, before some of them got caught, and there were some of them who got caught because there were some greedy Africans who says, "Hey, they're hiding right over here." I mean, we've had sellouts for years. They didn't just start. And there are some people who say, "Oh yeah, I get called the N word all the time. It's not a big deal." Uh, you know, he's he's giving me more on my child tax credit or my earned income credit, and I'm willing to let that go. Well, some things are worth more than money for me, and I can only speak for me. Some things that I can't just say, "Hey, it's okay because I'm getting something out of the deal." It's not okay. And that's how we got in this situation in the first place. Like, you have to stand for something other than trying to make a quick dollar. And you know, I have friends out there who were willing to sacrifice it all because they were getting some kind of tax break on their business or on their income. They were paying lower taxes, and yeah, everybody wants all their money on their check when they get paid. You're not the only one, but the money is going to get wasted no matter. For me, in my personal opinion, is the money's going to get wasted either way. It doesn't matter whether Republicans or Democrats are going to waste it. The money's going to get wasted by someone, and you just hope to God that you have your money and protect what you have. That's it. Just protect, people vote their interests, and that's what was going on. But sometimes you have to think about that interest when you do it, and you expect people to have some kind of value system or morality when they do things. Not just because it just benefits me and I don't give a damn about anyone else but me. No, you should. Everyone should. It's almost like with this vaccine. Like, they're trying to make it herd immunity where everyone gets vaccinated, but it needs to be herd immunity when it needs to be some kind of herd when we're talking about what's right for everyone in general. And we saw a year ago today that everyone doesn't think that way. And it says
Facts.
something when 90+% of the people down there were white and Republican. It tells it's telling about who that election was going to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just look at the broader scope of it. It obviously, I mean, I have Hispanic friends who were saying vote for Trump, but I didn't see Hispanics down there. And that's another one of those things where I say, hey, don't just look for what's happening for you, especially, if you were able to get a visa or get a green card or get citizenship, and the rest of your family is stuck wherever they're stuck. And basically, well, you don't care about them. You made it. So Who gives a heck on what happens with them? They didn't make it.
Facts.
Selfish.
All right. Yeah. That's the thing. Rodney and I were talking about that the other day, Jimmy. We were talking about the fact that common sense is not so common. And you know what, Rod? Let me pause. We're in a serious situation, but in a lot of ways, we're talking about the South and the North, and you over there drinking that Lynchburg lemonade. I thought you didn't drink. I thought you didn't drink anymore.
That's what it is.
Lynchburg lemonade. You killing it, man. We hear the ice crackling. What, Rod? What's up, man?
Tea.
Nah, we didn't see that in the cup though. We didn't see that in the cup. We just saw it go down. You know what I'm saying? You had that Johnny Walker. Wait, Lynchburg lemonade is not Johnny Walker. It's
Jack Daniels, I think.
Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Rob went to Fridays the other day and had that Jack Daniels sauce and was like, "Boy, I need me some Lynchburg lemonade." So he like, they gonna think it's sweet tea, but it's Lynchburg lemonade. No. Anyway, man, we it's sobering. It's sobering. People actually believe these things. People actually live like this, and it's like, wow. And I didn't mess around and brought a kid into this. Kayla is 4, and she is my why, and I have to protect her at all costs.
I'm glad Dietrich posted this, and I'm glad you highlighted it, and I'll read it. It says, the scariest is the idea of these evangelicals who are thinking that they are acting with some type of morals. And I posted a question on Facebook once, and when I'm being silly on Facebook or posting myself with a wig as baby hair, I could get I can get 800 to 900 likes on me being stupid. But when I actually post something serious on Facebook, maybe 3 people, 4 people will actually comment, and maybe I would say 8 people will like it. So, Dietrich posted something that I put on Facebook that was relevant to this, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. I posted something about evangelicals and Republicans. What makes them the moral leaders, other than the fact that they don't believe in abortion and they don't believe in gay rights? What makes them the moral leader or moral majority as far as life is concerned? Because I've always thought it to be ironic that you are pro-life, but you're pro-gun. So you pick and choose which life you want to take. I've always thought that was strange.
Sorry, it's the Patriots with the it's the Patriots with the Confederate flag. It's the same silliness, but lives are at stake. So it's not silly; it's irresponsible and deadly.
Yeah, I've never understood that, and I've asked that question, and I rarely get an answer to it. And hey, we're Christians here in the Bible Belt, and we believe in this and that, but you also are racist as hell, and you will shoot the first person of color that you see and say that you were scared or that you fear for your life. Like, God doesn't teach hatred. In any religion, he doesn't teach hatred.
That part. That part.
So there are people who say, well, I'm Republican because it lines up with my biblical values. And I'm like, no, it doesn't line up with mine. It doesn't at all. It doesn't make me any more Christian because I don't believe in, because I believe in pro-life or pro whatever else than it would if I was believing in pro-choice or whatever. Your walk is your walk. Whether you, I'm glad that my kids were never aborted, but I can't speak for anybody else, and I wouldn't use what I believe biblically to tell somebody else what to do. Everybody makes their own choice. So, when people tell me, oh, I'm a Republican because it lines up with Christianity, and I could never be a Democrat because they're pro-choice or pro whatever. No, you full of it is what you are. You trying to take a little piece of the Bible and run with it is what you're doing. Makes no sense. And that's probably why no one answers that question when I put it out there. Because I would shoot that argument in a heartbeat.
I'm just trying to let them answer it. Yep. Oh boy, there's so many discrepancies.
But and Dietrich, I wouldn't even say they want it on Christian values. They want it on old English values, and not necessarily Christian, because there are so many different types. I think a lot of people get it twisted that white Christians and black Christians practice the same, and they don't. And I don't think they ever have. They have some common beliefs, but the way they practice Christianity or the way they practice other religions is hardly ever the same. The thinking is different. Because during ancient Rome and during the dynasties that were going on in history, you had so many different types of religions popping up at the same time. Christianity was one of the slowest to grow as far as the world was concerned. You had Jews, you had Catholicism popping up, you had Islam popping up, Buddhism, Hinduism, and those things were much faster growing than Christianity was. And then when you got Christianity, it broke into so many different sects depending on where you were and the laws of your country or area at that time. So, the Quakers were basically Christians, but they didn't practice like the Protestants did. And the Protestants didn't practice like the Catholics did. And everything had differences. And then when you get on top of people of color, the Europeans didn't practice Christianity the way Africans did. And Christianity was very much in Africa prior to getting to Europe. People
Can I cut in
want to
real
say
quick,
that it
Ron?
wasn't. Yes, sir.
Okay, since you said European, I have to give a shout out to Dr. Obina at Cal, that was formerly of Cal State Northridge. Rest in peace. He would say, I took one of his classes, and he would say, not European, but European. And I've just never forgotten that he would say European. I love that. That's the most beautiful pronunciation of any word that I've ever heard. Other than however you want to pronounce Kayla. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm done, man. Yeah, Jimmy Mack, I agree with you. It is very segregated. Probably the most.
So for those of you who thought, and I don't know how you're still thinking that 84 episodes in, this is a sports podcast. Gotcha.
We do it all.
Yeah, we do it all. We do it all. And for those of you who are as confused as us that we're back to 2. Hey, the collective podcast is AC and Rod, and if other people come on less often than Cobbs, they're just guests. And they're welcome to come on. But I'm no longer confused. I'm very clear. I have clarity. Rod's got clarity. It's the 2 of us, and then sometimes we have the homies come on. So, yeah, bang bang. 1059. All right, so that's good. It's 1:16 Pacific. I think that we've got January 6th covered. You know, we started off with NFL, broke into a little bit of NBA. Anything else you want to cover before we fly out of here? We've got time, but
I mean, we went around the board, but it all comes back. It all plays through sports too, because these same political agendas and racial undertones and all of this stuff ties into these players and the decisions that are made regarding the players by management and by executives in that arena. So it ties all in together. It's sports is actually just a view into how the world is.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, listen, it's episode 84 of the Collective Podcast. I am AC from LA. He is Saucier Senior. We appreciate you. We really, really do. We are 84 episodes in, and if you do the math and you say this is weekly, you got 52 weeks in a year. 104 would be 2 years. So we're 20 episodes away from that, and we're still going strong. And we appreciate all the support. We started off from recording and then going on the DSPs and YouTube to actually going live, and we're running with this format. And we changed the times around a little bit, just to keep you guys guessing, but also make it convenient for he and I, so that we can still do this weekly. So we're gonna come to you weekly, no matter what. We just have to always find a time. If it's not just going to be Saturday at 8 Pacific, then we'll find something else, like we did this week with it being Thursday. But we're going to come at you. He and I will talk about it over the next couple of days and decide when we'll be on next week, and then we'll post it. But we absolutely appreciate you. So please like the podcast. Please share the podcast. Please comment. Tell a friend. We absolutely appreciate you. Rod, go ahead, close out, brother.
Hey, man, everybody continue to stay safe, and please don't get the feeling, despite what's going on, that this virus is over. It's not. People are still getting it. People are still dying from it. My boy Craig just died 2 days ago from the effects of COVID. And I don't know what else to say. Try to keep you and your family safe as possible. I'm glad we got this platform to try to help us keep some sanity and navigate through all of this craziness and chaos in the world, man. It's a lifesaver. I'm sure I'm speaking for me and AC when I said we getting games canceled on us left and right. So I just happened to be home today because I had a game canceled. Or I would probably be getting on the freeway somewhere at some point in the next, few minutes or hour, or already be gone. So And AC probably would be too, if he doesn't have a game today. So yes, get back to being vigilant on this thing, and slow down with the gatherings and the other stuff. And by now you got a good sense of which of your friends take this serious and which ones don't. Stay with the ones who do. And the ones who kind of haphazard and nonchalant about what's going on in the world, you got to make life-changing decisions. Um my mom just said in her sermon last Sunday, if you have anyone, she told everyone in her church to hold up your cell phone. And she says, if you have anyone in your cell phone that would be a hindrance to you in some sort of way, who may not want you to succeed in some kind of way, or who constantly make you feel weighted when you speak to them, she said, delete their phone numbers right now as you sit there. And well, I didn't have to do much because I just switched from a Droid to an iPhone and I don't have any contact. But it made people around her church think of, and she said there may be some relationships that you don't really want to cut because you really love these people, but they're no good for you. And you have to make a decision on how you want your life to go. And I'm saying the same thing with this virus and with other things. If you know you have people out there, family or friends, who really don't take this thing seriously enough, and they're just going around each and every one of whoever they can find, they always have to be at a party, they always have to be in the mix somewhere, and they put you at risk, you need to make your decision and do what you really need to do and keep yourself alive. Um, have a good weekend, and let's wait for this national championship game.
Bang, bang, bang. All right. Shout out to Rod's mom, Pastor Jared Carruthers. Shout out to my mom, Judy Carter. Love you. Thanks for that, Rod. Once again, episode 84. Thank you guys for checking in. We appreciate you. Everybody that came through today. Thank you. Everybody that will watch this back. Thank you. If only I could share with you guys what I mean by 32 and a half years, but I'm not. I'll tell Rod offline. But yeah, man, 32 and a half years is just absolutely crazy. Anyway, moving on.
Shout out to Dwight T. Drain.
Shout out to 45 from the Bills. My assistant track coach in 10th and 11th grades.
Drain's mineral oil. Drain's bedside towels.
Bedside towels? Oh no, you gotta stop, man.
Drain's slow jam tapes.
Oh, let me do this for my cousin. Shout out his eating establishment, Soul of LA Cafe. Don Fields. I went there and had the Pacific Ocean Views roll, and it was absolutely amazing. The next sandwich I'm going to have is the gumbo. We don't get any financial consideration from Soul of LA, so this is just out of the kindness of our hearts. Shout out to Soul of LA Cafe. Boom, boom.
Location.
4511 West Pico Boulevard, in between Crenshaw and La Brea on Pico,
Bam.
Los Angeles. Bam, bam. And with it getting colder, if for all of your hoodie needs, go to thelegalhustle.com. Again, thelegalhustle.com. Yeah, check it out. Get some hoodies. Boom, boom. All right. So yeah, like I just want to say it's a new year and life is short and so many things happen unexpectedly. Like there was a pileup today in Cerritos and somebody died. a collision, like multiple cars collided with the FedEx truck. And you never know. So just, again, tell your family that you love them and do all that you can to bring happiness to those that you come into contact with. That's all anyone can ask. You won't always succeed, but if that's your aim, if that's your goal, the world will be better for it. Just keep that in mind. This is episode 84 of the Collective Podcast. When Rod was talking about evangelicals, well, I guess it would have been Rod and Dietrich talking about evangelicals. It made me think of the intro to one of my favorite songs. And so I'm going to play this. And yeah, so here we go. But thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 84 of the Collective Podcast.
Yes, sir. I knew it. I knew it. Machiavelli the Don.
Shout out to Cobb. Shout out to Dietrich. Shout out to Jimmy Mack.
And all the rest who sneak on.
Everybody else that came through. We appreciate you. Nina. Oh, Nina never came. Shout out anyway. And I remember what Mom told me. My family tree consists of drugs, dealers, thugs, and killers.